Turning your head to see a new day calling. Does it feel like a head to lean on? A snapshot from where you were born. I'm looking for your hand in the rough. You're caught in the wire. Well, I lift you
Hello guys, this is Senels. A lot of you guys asked me on how did I build my Ronin for White Star Airship instance, so let's start. On this video, we will talk about 1. Why is Ronin a good DPS on White Star Airship instance? 2. Its stats allocation, runes and skills to be used. 3. Gears and equipment used for Emir switching. 4. Gameplay and party composition. Why Ronin? Ronin is a very high DPS job for White Star Airship, and in my opinion, it is the highest damage dealer of all job classes in this instance. It's a better version of Rune Masters in terms of AoE damage and use of elemental skills. Here are some of the pros and cons of Ronin. Pros: ground skill AoE and burst damage per second. This means Ronin can dish R more damage while killing more monsters. Not like auto-attack Rune Masters, where you need Baphomet card just to eliminate other mobs or MVPs. Survivability. This means it can last longer in fights and tank more damage than most damage dealers do. It also has lots of vitality points, so more HP without sacrificing your attack. Ronin also works great with most of the job classes used in White Star Airship. Ronin's uses two main element, Fire and Holy, which is greatly used for MVPs and mobs. Cons: BCC collab jobs. This means it's a special class, which can only be purchased through BCC, and if you don't have this job, you might need to wait for a while for the devs to release it again. As some of you know, Ronin classes needs a bunch of equipment to dish out its most potential damage, and it is slightly rune-dependent job, which means you need high percentage points of star runes. Also, Emir switching is a must, but if you really wanted this class, you'll get used to it. Stats. You need to focus on intelligence, vitality, and strength, and the rest will depend on what garment card you have. I have Zenobia card, that's why I have lots of dexterity. So stats really depends on your items as well. Vitality gives more damage because of the skill HP Light. This skill gives you 1% damage boost of /light skill for every 10 vitality points you have, but make sure it is divisible by 10. Next, max intelligence points. This gives you more MDEF for sink or swim skill and more magic attack. And just balance strength depending on what card or equip you are using. Next one is skill. Now I will show you how I allocate my skill points. Here you can see that I don't put points on my skill Warrior of the Wildfire's Rage, because I don't really use this skill much. For me, it is better to put points on HP Elite, so it has more duration. Next are runes. As I said earlier, Ronin is slightly rune-dependent job. You need star runes that has 2 star or at least 1 star with high percentage points. Berserk Breath Rune. You need to have the first line at least 20% or more to deal great damage, and the second line for much more damage when enemy has a burning status. Remember, crowd control status works on every enemy inside White Star Airship, even for MVPs and minis. An Etched Mark Rune. This runes give bonus damage points for every hit until it hits its max damage, so a third line is a must. As for other runes, Darkness Awakening Rune only need a high first line, cause we don't really need the Frenzy third line, and for the Death Cage Star Rune, we only need its second line just for the skill Last Stand. Also roll for a good breath solidification and sword practice runes. It gives a good amount of damage, cause of ignored death and PDI. It also boosts magic attack and attack for each spirit bomb used. For arcane runes, you need a good level on transmission rune. It can give you additional final damage whenever you are more than 6 meters away from the enemy. And put a bit level on war preparedness rune. It gives you HP shield for each attack. You can put anything on the 3rd slot, so don't worry about it. Gears and Ymir Switch. Ronin need tons of equipment to deal massive damage on White Star Airship, so you need at least 2 or 3 Ymir switches. First, MDEF Switch. MDEF switching is a must for Ronins and Rune Masters, as you can see him using Sins of Living with MDEF% and Fate Wheel. This equipments are used for decreasing cooldowns, especially the skill Inferno Armor. This will give you an unlimited use of Inferno Armor, which is really good. Let me show you the difference between having a cooldown gears versus a pure MDEF gears. As you can see with cooldown gears, set up on your MDF Switch, plus a buff of Suffragium from Saint, it will give you infinite usage of Inferno Armor. And now, let's try without the cooldown gears. See the difference? You will have a 10 seconds or more window without the Inferno Armor, depending on your Darkness Awakening rune. So I think having a cooldown reduction gears on your MDEF Switch is a game changer for Ronin and Rune Masters. But of course, pure MDEF gears will give a bit more damage while in Inferno Armor, but having a 10 seconds or more window that you don't have the Inferno Armor will cost you a big swoop on damage as well. Next is the large switch. This equipment are focused on large MVPs, which is common to White Star Airship MVP. If you are confused why I'm using cast delay gear, you can watch the video I made using cast delay versus burst gears. I will put the link below. And also, there's a reason why I have God of Love's name headgear instead of Duchess of Bat. You can also watch the video I made using this 2 headgears. I will also put the link below. And for the last switch, Medium Switch. This equipments are focused on dealing with medium MVPs and mobs, such as demi-human MVPs, archangeling, and demi-human mobs. It's not a must, but still a very good way to have on your arsenal. Priority attributes. This attributes need to be at least decent or high enough to dish out tons of damage. Every account has a different attribute, so just mix and balance what you have. For pen, you need at least 70% or more. Skill damage at least 60% or more. Ignore def at least 170% to 200 max. Physical damage 100% or more. Fire element damage 120% or more. Use 2 Heart of Molten as main gears and 2 Flame Feather on shadow equipment. Also, you can deposit Kaho and Kaho star cards for additional 2% fire damage, and if you're lucky to have Dark Lord card unlock on your handbook, it also gives 8% fire damage. You need at least 60% of Holy Element damage. And the last part is gameplay and party composition. Ronin gameplay is pretty straightforward. Use Stay Alert and just dish out damage as much as you can. Use your range and let the other tank the enemies. Also, don't forget to use MDF switching. Before you use buffs, this secure a much higher damage per second. Please remind your teammates that don't use poison status, cause this might lower your damage. You only need burn status for this build. If you are going poison, use poison damage cards. Here are some of the cards used on Poison Ronin build. Now I will show you a list of job classes that is best suited for Ronin DPS in my own opinion. SSS, AA Saint with Solemn Hammer. SS, Ninja, Saint with Magnus, Solar Trouvaire, and Divine Avenger. S, Spirit Whisperer, Gunslinger, Begetter with Tier VA weapon. A, Chronomancer, Heinrich. B, Phantom Dancer with Raid skill, and Lord Aura for Plagiarism skill. C, every job that has Soth card, or damage boost gears for party. That's all, folks. If you have any question or suggestions with this guide, please feel free to message me on my Facebook page. Thank you for watching.